Happy birthday! God damn it. Happy birthday. This is your day to have a lot of fun. We're waiting for the celebrating. This is your day. So happy birthday to you. Ooh. Ooh. Happy fucking birthday. I hope it's beautiful and you have a wonderful day and you eat something goddamn delicious. Life is short. Eat the cupcake. I love you and I hope your birthday is wonderful. Ookie, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the sub, the prime sub. The way that Twitch interacts with me sometimes. Thank you for some of the class, keeping the class alive and giving us that prime sub. Do not forget your prime subs. Bezos does nothing for the world and makes billions. Let's not forget those. Appreciate you. Happy fucking birthday. Rod, I started the book. It's so good. What the fuck? My dudes. So, Rod has been trying to get me to start this book. Well, not like literally, he's just been reading a good book. That's it. And he's been obsessed with it. And I've desperately needed that. Like it's been so long since I had a book that I'm just into. And I'm not just like defaulting to because I'm bored out of my mind and I need something to take my brain space. It's good. Like I was trying to describe it to Zach last night and it was just not working. It's really good though. I'm just glad I finally got to start it. Oh, Ookie, boo. We're all surviving. We're literally in disassociation, laugh at ridiculous things mode. Yeah, it's... I wouldn't describe it that way, Rod, simply because I don't like The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is written for children. The Hunger Games, for me, like, it was great when I was a kid, but trying to metabolize that as an adult, it's written for kids. Like, this book is written for adults. You can tell it's, like, written for adults. Like, and which is desperately what I've been looking for, because I feel like the vast majority of fantasy or, horror, like vampire, werewolf, whatever, all of that is geared towards kids. It's young adult. And I swear to God, within the first chapter, you're going to be introduced to some goddamn stupid romantic storyline I don't give a fuck about. Young adult, man, they're just horny and they want to think about romance, and I don't. I can fuck whenever I want. I don't need that. I am so tired of the young adult, like, just getting cornered into it because I want to read fantasy. This is definitely not that. I wouldn't say it's like, in my opinion, just because Hunger Games is written for children, and this is not, it doesn't come across, and by written for children, I mean, you know what I mean in that type of writing, where it's, you start reading it and you just, good morning, penis, you just get that fucking, you're like, oh, this is young adult, like, we're gonna be going into young adult, whatever, like, she's gonna fall in love with a villain or something like that, like, it's just funny so far, and it's so weird, like, just to give you, like, the rundown of what I've read so far. So essentially, the book opens up with this random dude who's going through a breakup and is stuck with his ex's cat. And he's looking out his window and his neighbor's talking to him, and all of a sudden, the building that he's looking at just goes pop into the ground as if someone went bap onto it. And he watches every building around him do that, and then he starts seeing heads poking out of the ground, and he realizes that all the people in the buildings were crushed when the pop happened, but his building wasn't. And then all of a sudden, there's like this fucking video game AI voice in his head that's like, as soon as this message ends, portals will open to a dungeon, choose to enter them or don't, blah, blah, blah. And then these spotlights start popping up all over, and he runs towards one and dives in with his cat. And it's literally like a video game AI starts popping up in his vision with, like, achievements that are snarky. Like, achievement, you entered the dungeon with no pants. Are you fucking kidding? Like, these are the achievement. It's ridiculous. Like, I was so into it. I really, like, was so excited. I've been excited to start this for a while. Just hadn't had time. Dungeon Crawler Carl is what it's called. Yeah. It's on Kindle Unlimited. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free. Or Alice in Borderland, very much so, yeah. It strikes way much as more that. More just, it's someone thrown into a situation where they're absolutely fucking balls and have no idea what they're doing. At all. It's great. It's really well written and it's really fast paced. I like that. I like that it's immediately you're dumped into action. I get, like, I've talked about this before, but there's been a few books that I've tried to dive into recently where it's like, the first 3 chapters, they're trying to set up a world you're unfamiliar with. And like, you have to sell me on your story before I give a fuck about your special language you invented or your special pronouns you invented. That's a book I read, whatever. And if the first 3 chapters feel like school, I'm out. I'm ditching. That's not it. That's not the book for me. I want to learn it as I go. And I like that. Like it's fast, but I like it. It's fast paced. It's good. Suburban Wine Moms, that's what I'm saying. No shit, David. The amount of times I've looked, and that's what happened to like Anne Rice books. Like I stopped reading them after a certain time because I was just like, oh, this is like vampire cloaked smut. You know? And I don't give a fuck about that. Like if I'm gonna read smut, I'm gonna read smut. I don't need romance, a cheesy romance in an action book. It's pointless to me. Like I start to scan and skip those parts of books. I find myself like I can scan over the paragraphs and just skip entire pages that I don't care about. And if I can skip entire pages, get to the end of your book and still get the gist of the book, those pages didn't matter. Stop it. It's made you cry? Oh, I'm nervous. I'm still at the laughing part. Is this donut? Is it Donut's hole? Goddamn donut. Yeah, so the cat's name is Donut Princess something something. It's Princess Donut is the name of this cat that he accidentally brings with him. It's fucking hilarious, but the book is really good so far. I enjoy it. I really think you would do well with manga. I used to read manga exclusively when I was a kid. That was my anime because I didn't have TV. No shit. It's crazy, these weird established memories, right? 4th grade, my best friend Kara. I would go over to her house and we would sit and we would watch Sailor Moon after school. And we had these how to draw manga books. You can Google them. They're literally called How to Draw Manga. And it's a huge fucking series. And it's like every category you can possibly imagine how to draw. And we would sit there and we would draw manga and watch Sailor Moon. And then she had all of the manga books for Sailor Moon, as well as this series called Ray Earth. Something Ray Earth, I can't remember. And we would sit and read those. I fucking loved them. Like, that was my jam because I had no way to watch any of this at home. I was very much into manga for a long period of time. Like, that was the wall of manga at Barnes & Noble. I remember it was the back right corner by a big window that had a chair, and no one was ever there. It was the best corner of the Barnes & Noble. Magic Knight Ray Earth. That was a dank series. I loved that series. No shit, Gun. I read this book recently where within the first chapter, they literally spent the first chapter just describing these different pronouns for people based on where they were in a military stance of a fake fantasy military world. Like, I learned the pronoun ka before I learned the main character's name. I don't want that. Like, it should just come naturally. Like, that kind of shit should just come naturally throughout the book. You shouldn't have to, like, describe, like, have an appendix of the world before the book. Yeah, it's just boring. Like, it reads like stereo instructions, kind of. I have nothing wrong with you creating a world. I mean, obviously, I fucking love Tolkien and shit like that. Like, I have nothing wrong with someone creating a very unique world in a unique language, but it should come as you go. It shouldn't be like, here's class, learn how to read my book first. That's effort. I don't want that. I don't want that. I never had a Sailor Moon doll. I wish. Do you have a favorite sailor person? XXX Holic. It's related to Ray Earth. I'll write it down. I haven't read manga in a really long time, actually. I went from manga and Sailor Moon to finding anime, like, later in life, and then actually, like, torrenting the anime and stuff. And then I found graphic novels. And that's where I ended up, because it was like, manga's great, but a lot of the time it's real small. It's in really tiny books. It's really small art, and graphic novels, you get these big fuckers with giant full-page art. And I want to see the detail. I want to see as much as possible. So I think that was like my pipeline. XXX Holic. I'm going to write it down. That pencil. Absolutely not. I was just talking about this the other day. Like, I used to be really fascinated with how manga was made and like the acid sheets they used to fill in the pow and the wow and the backgrounds and like all this shit. I thought it was so cool. They should keep the Chinese comic strips behind a curtain. I'm glad to hear the bookstores in America are keeping their use safe. The Chinese cartoons. I love you, David. So bad. It's literally, that's exactly what something my dad would have said. You keep your Chinese cartoons in the basement. It's so relatable. Thank you for the link, Kona. Manga, they are graphic novels. Yep, they tend to be small. Like, thick. Like, I remember the mangas I would get, they were thick, but they were like this. They were tiny, but they were a lot. I feel like depending on my mood of the day, I have a different favorite Sailor Star all the time. Mercury's the only one I find super boring because she was just nerdy and smart. And when they became magical, she was like, hey, how about Bubbles? Okay. She was cute though. She's the only one though that I'm like, meh. Dark Lady is where it's at. I don't know about you guys, but Sailor Moon villains are the shit. That was a trick question when I said, who's your favorite Sailor Moon person? It's Dark Lady, and you know it is. Tuxedo, of course, Tuxedo Mask, though. I mean, there's actually a lot of manga that has color now. Like, it doesn't just look like black and white, but I get exactly what you mean. Like, that's why I got into graphic novels. I was like, oh my god, it's better. Claymore, I thought you guys were just shouting a weapon at me. I didn't realize until Knives said, I think you would like that that's a series. I was like, Claymore. Okay, Claymore. I saw Uki's Claymore, like, weapons. Yay. I'm a dumbass. I'm just tired. If you're fascinated about how manga is written, check out Bakuman. It was done by people who wrote Death Note about how they wrote. I love that stuff. The making of is fascinating. Like art, the creation process of art. They're Chinese cartoons. She's watching that hentai. Wait, no, hentai. Does he say hentai? She's up there watching that there hentai. Why won't she leave? Hold on. Bakuman. Got it. Tower War was a manga and then they made it an anime and ruined it? Base plot, demons exist and eat humans. Claymores are female warriors that are used to fight them. A young girl meets a claymore and oh yeah, I'm into that. They sound like Valkyries. Yeah, I'm into that. Yes. Just different hentais. Every single time I think of hentai, my brain now says hentai. Every time. Vizzy ruined my brain. But maybe in the best way. Hey, honestly, like Nagiel, I'm open to other series that are like just adult fantasy. I don't even think Rod told me this series was comedy. Like, it's kind of dark comedy, I guess you would say. It's not like, I don't know, it's comedic. I wasn't ready for that, though. I just wanted adult fantasy that didn't have young teenagers falling in love with a 9,000-year-old vampire that looks like a teenager. Like, I just didn't want that anymore, which is recycled so many fucking times over. Pretty much Valkyries, that's my people. I know, Gun, I'm excited. I read fast. Once I sit down with a good book, like, I'll probably finish the first book tonight. Probably. Once I get into a book, I fly. It's nice. I like it. Claymore was the one where I was like, that's a complete story. I fucking hate, that's the only thing that drives me crazy about some, like, mangas or graphic novels or comic series, is we were talking about this the other day when we were going through the bookshelf, but there's a lot of series that just kind of fade out of existence for some reason. Like, I don't know what happens with the creators or whatever, but you'll be really into a series and there's no ending. Like there's nothing. It just kind of like nothing happens. It's sad. I feel bad when that happens because I don't know if it's like the publishers or if it's the writer or what the fuck went down. But you should be able, at least be able to finish it. My God. Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, no shit. You guys, like, Rod, tell me I'm wrong on this. The first scene, like the first bad guys that the guy has to fight in the book, is that scene not the scene from Labyrinth? So in the Labyrinth, when she's in the tunnels, the big crazy machine that's like cleaning the tunnels, and she has to run from it, and it's like go 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 coming at her, and then when it passes her, she just sees these tiny little like goblins that are like making the thing move. I don't know, pedaling pedals or something. The pop culture references in this book are off the charts. It's hilarious. It's so, I mean, I think maybe that's what I mean by geared towards adults. Maybe that's it. I hate that I'm the adult. But you know what I mean? I always feel like Naruto was like the Twilight of anime, and dude, I've never seen Naruto. Is that crazy? Naruto, and what's that other series that has gone on forever? We were just talking about these recently. Glut brought it up. There's Naruto, and then there's another series that have, I mean, they're like One Piece. Thousands of episodes. How doth one, it's like looking at those soap operas that have been going on for 70 years and being like, I think I'm going to start at the beginning. What? How? Do you even have the life hours? Crazy. It's a good show, though. We've watched some of it in Discord. Like, One Piece looks cute as fuck. The whole genre is the whole subgenre is one of my favorites. Usually it's called lit RPG. What does that mean? Lit, like it's lit? I wrote it down. How much do you like the stories that literally tell you nothing in regards to the world outside of what you see and maybe what is said offhand? That's what I like. Like, where you're just dumped into a world and you kind of are discovering the semantics of the world via the story. Similar to, like, if you think about BioShock, you know, in BioShock, you're picking up those recorders and you start listening to people talk to you, but you can continue moving. It's not like you have to read a book about the history of the world or whatever. It's just you start gathering bits and pieces via the story. Blame? Okay. No, that's my favorite because it's kind of a mystery. Like it makes you curious. Like that book I was talking about earlier, if someone had just started referring to someone as Ka, I would have been curious about it and been like, what does Ka mean? And then I would have started to put it together and been like, oh, that's a pronoun for someone in the military. Wow. But instead they're like, Ka, the pronoun for this level of military. Pana, the pronoun for this. Blah, 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 blah. It's just boring to lay it out like that. It's almost like show, don't tell, but it's a book, so you're definitely telling. I don't know how to put that. Does that make sense? I wrote it down, yeah. Literary role-playing. Oh. You would, I mean, that's literally what this series is that Rod got me into. Dungeon Crawler Carl, that's what it feels like. Like, he even mentions that in the book. He's like, oh my god, think back to your D&D days. Do you remember anything? Because, like, health bars pop up over people's heads and shit. Like, it's legitimately like he's living this psychotic dungeon video game. I don't want to spoil it for you if you want to read the series. It's real good. I'm very much enjoying it. I'm glad Rod found it. Good morning, V. How are you, love? Cheers. Where's my lighter? You just watch, read them at your own pace. And that's what's tempting about them, because I think I've talked to you about this before, Knives, but, like, I get really, it's like a pet peeve of mine. If I find a book, an author I really enjoy, and they have one book or two books, it's like I take it personally a little bit. I'm like, how dare you be talented and make nothing else for me to metabolize? What the fuck is wrong with you? Which is crazy. But I do. So when I can find a series that's like ridiculously long, it's almost relaxing to me because I'm not stressed about finding another book. Like, I was just talking about this yesterday when we were playing the game that we're going to play more today. I don't know if we're going to finish it or not, but I hate finishing a game or finishing a book when there's not another in the series because it feels like a breakup. You get so intimately familiar with all of these characters and all of these people, and you're like in the mind of someone, and then it's just over. What the fuck? That shit drives me nuts. One of my favorite authors, Wally Lamb, I think he has maybe 5 books. He's been around forever. It's not a series. He writes really, really good books. One of my favorite books that I've, like, one of the very, I mean, not an exaggeration, there are probably less than this many books in the world that I've reread in my life because I don't like rereading. I get really bored because I know what's going to happen. And one of Wally Lamb's books, She's Come Undone, is one of those books. He actually made, one of his books got turned into a series and a movie, I think. This Much I Know Is True was a book by him. Fabulous writer, but fuck, dude. 5 books in like 25 years. That's all I've got. I mean, help. Help. Oh, your tattoo art's got you going on it. No shit. I remember books used to have just like a number next to a made-up word, and then in small print at the bottom of the page, you could tell the meaning. Maybe some still do that. Oh, 100%. Oh, all the time. I love that stuff. I love when they put the little asterisk and then they explain something in the footnote. I love me some footnotes. I look at all of them. Is that weird? Show don't tell is definitely a thing in writing, and it can be difficult sometimes, but explaining ranks, nobody needs that unless it's an immediately relevant, and I kind of feel like that's easier to show than most things. It was an entire chapter, Kozu, and it was boring. Oh, fuck, I'm trying to remember the name of the book. It was like Where Dead Things Lie or something like that, and it was good. It was like a murder mystery kind of thing, but boring. Like, that shit, the explanations and stuff like that was real boring. It was very show don't tell. Spoods and Poods are great. Spoods are cold, going into winter torpor. Poods are great. Assholes, dragging mud all over my house as usual. You know. The huge. If you start One Piece or decide to read it, if that's what you want to do, we'll watch it with you. I want to watch it. I have it on my list, actually, my to-do list. I would like to watch it. It seems like a fun show to put on in the background and listen to. Like, I think we watched an episode of it like a week ago or something like that. Like, Glut just randomly had it on, or if it was, I don't know. We were talking about it, I don't remember, but it looked fun. Hitchhikers is all about the footnotes, and that's a what's the other book that's like the compendium to there's Hitchhiker's Guide, and then there's, I have it behind me somewhere. He has like a sister book or something. The same author. I can't remember. I don't remember what it's called. It's good though. Right, if the ranks are that complicated, add a diagram or something to the back. But an in-character person, I mean, literally, it was the person that you were, like, following, you were them in the book. They were describing the ranks to you in their mind to themselves, even though they were in the military. Like, none of it just didn't make sense. You wouldn't do that. I don't sit here and think about hospital ranks in my head just as I'm walking through the woods. That's not what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt very, bleh. I don't know. Not my favorite, but that's a pet peeve of mine. I just get really bored. I'd be out too, and I'm guilty of doing more, a bit more lore dumping than necessary in my life. I love lore, but there's such a difference. Like, I'm a sucker for deep, intricate, ridiculous lore in a series. Give that to me any fucking day, man. But I feel like there's just a different way to serve it to people. And I don't know how. I'm sure someone likes it. Someone likes the way it was written. It's just not me. A long book for me would be 600 plus in hardback. Anything 300 to 400 is standard, and read too quickly. I am going to be honest, I don't think I've ever looked at how long a book is before I read it. In my life, I couldn't tell you how many pages a book is. No, the Bible we did, because I had to write it down to remember. That's a lie. I had to write down page numbers for the Bible. That was a horrible book to read. But I don't think I've ever looked at how many pages a book is in my life. And I don't know why. I think I just feel it, and I'm like, that feels thick. I describe it as an anything's possible story. You'll find something you love about it. I mean, I liked the characters already just in the few minutes we watched. There was like a little animal or something that I liked. Some little creature, and you guys told me what it was, and I don't remember what it was called. Is it the restaurant at the end of the universe? It's behind me. We just saw it the other day. I just can't remember. The salmon of... I see it. Hold on. The Salmon of Doubt. That's a good one. Sorry, my brain's a little farty today. I feel like I'm getting a sinus infection. A highlight of it? What do you mean a highlight of it? Good morning, Young. Greetings, Bezbelly. I hope you're doing well, Honeybean. Way of Kings? No, but I like that. That sounds fun. I wrote it down. There's lore, and then there's 8 pages about the tree in the middle of a town square. Thank you. I'm not kidding, David. I use that just a description so similar to that when I describe things like Tolkien, for instance. Bless his heart. But man, if you need a chapter to describe the bark of a tree, I'm out. My sensory processing is so much faster than that. I just don't know what to do. Yeah, I cannot agree harder. There's lore, and then there's why are you so obsessed with this tree? Stop it. This tree has 0 importance to me right now. I have no interest in your tree. Stop that. Oh, Shogun's so good. No shit, Uki. For like 10 years, I didn't read or draw or do anything for fun because of college. It almost ruined me. I totally get that. It's terrible. Wheel of Time, Sword of Truth were some of the best novel series. I can't get into Wheel of Time for the life of me. I've tried so many times. And those books were also thick. I remember one paperback for Wheel of Time was literally over 2 inches thick, and the inside cover came off because reading it literally bent the scup. I hate that so much. A bent spine makes me very anxious. I can't with that. Which ones? I feel like I tried to read some Brandon Sanderson or something. Was he the one that wrote like Mistborn or something? I tried. I really did. I think I read the first in the series, and it just started turning into a cute romance so fast. If that's the one I'm thinking of. Like, it started just turning into a sexual tension novel that I got disinterested again. I tried. It was okay. I'd say for me, mediocre. I was whelmed. I was whelmed by it. But meh. It was okay. I tried though. So many people have suggested that goddamn author to me. And if you fucking go on Kindle Unlimited and go, adult fantasy, Brandon Sanderson. Everywhere. I'm like, I've tried it. Stop. Stop it. I wish there was an option to be like, not that one. Can I swipe right and left on books? Because no, I haven't read the whole series, but I know I don't like it and I don't want it and stop showing me. I want to do that. And it won't stop. It just suggests the same shit over and over that I've tried and I'm not into. Oh, have you fever and cold? No. Boo. It is the season, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm already getting a sinus infection, so... Now we've shared. To be fair, Tolkien, that was during a time when it was possible someone literally didn't know what a mountain looked like. Very much so, and I've read all of Tolkien. Like, Tolkien isn't that bad, but he has a habit of running on sometimes. It's not the worst, though. I definitely have gotten through that many times. Why can't people stop being horny when they have way bigger problems? I have nothing wrong with being horny, just fuck. I don't need chapters of sexual tension between 2 young adults. Get it, like, perfunctory, get it out and move on with the story. You know? That's it. Because that's what real people do. I think I'll rub one out. Smack, 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 smack. But chapters of it is just a lot, and I find myself not giving a fuck and wishing one character would die so it would be over with, because I don't care. What's the Orson Scott card? Wait, what's that? Just, like, not do it? Did you mean all of this smut? Exactly. And it oftentimes is young adult smut, which is just a different level of disturbing. In that 16-year-old girl who's really basic and plain and has no friends and is new at school, and a 1,000-year-old vampire who looks 17 the rest of his life falls in love with her immediately because she smells like flowers. It's been done so many times. Stop it. I'm tired. It's unrealistic. Stop it. Bernard, who's that? What do they write? No shit, Mish. I mean, literally, I have to put myself in an environment. Like, I have to put myself in an environment away from all of my stimulus. Because, like, for instance, if I tried to read at my computer, my brain wouldn't stop realizing, well, you've got a painting, you've got a figure you're building, you've got all your computer, you've got a million games you could play. You could organize all that makeup right there because that looks like a fucking shitstorm. Do you really need all of those pens? I simply cannot focus because I'm surrounded by so many options. Whereas if I stick myself in a dark, cold place where there's nothing else to do, I could sink into a book. I've learned that I have to do that. I have to, like, put myself in the mode. I can sink into a book literally forever. Dungeon Core, is that like this one that I'm reading? I grabbed the link. I think I tried Stormlight too. Who wrote Storm? Is that the Brandon Sanderson Stormlight? I fuck them up all the time. They have the most generic. No offense. Mistborn, Stormlight, Light Dark, Pissant, Heartblood. I mean, the most generic fucking names. My God, so unmemorable. I'm really sorry, but like, did you just grab a dictionary and pick 2 words and put them together? I don't know. Very generic names. Really hard for me to differentiate. I'm really bad with names to begin with, though. Last Kingdom. Wait, did I write? Oh, no, that was Way of Kings. Last Kingdom. Got it. So you have to read Stormlight before you read Way of Kings? I don't know if and I mean, no shit, there ain't no judgment. I can't write. I don't know if I like Sanderson's writing enough to get through all that. It was whelming. Mid, is that what the kids say? For me, the writing, I cannot judge. I'm not a writer. Just for me, I didn't look forward to going back to the book. I was just like, I guess I'm bored. Guess I'll finish this book. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can get through that much. Way of Kings is book 1 of Stormlight, and Stormlight is the one that's not like young adult gromance shit. Oh, David, that's why I know that name. That's why I know that name. Thank you. Yes. Ender's Game. Talk about books I love and authors who turned out to be pieces of living shit. Yeah. I'm really bad with, see, one of my favorite books ever, it's literally behind me, couldn't remember the author. Really bad with names. It has nothing to do with these people. I'm just terrible at it. Ender's Game is one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life, but fuck that author. Fuck. But that book was so good. Me neither. I can't stand it. The romantasy genre. Like, fucking write me on some proper fantasy instead. That's literally what we're talking about. Like, no shit. I can't stand it. If I'm going to read smut, I'm going to read smut. I don't need it in my fantasy. I don't want it there. I skip it. Like, I've been through enough school and been forced to read enough that I know how to scan. And I can scan pages at a time and get past all the bullshit. And if I can get to the end of a book and none of those pages I skipped mattered, they didn't matter. Stop it. Stop with the filler. Oh, Sanderson's Mormon? What's with Mormons in writing? Because wasn't the author of the Twilight series is Mormon? which reflects a lot in those books, which I definitely read as a kid. Interesting, Fainted, I'm the opposite. I don't comprehend if someone's reading to me. Like, I have a really hard time with audiobooks if I'm not, like, in my car. Right, baby? It's the worst. Same. Ender's Game is one of the best books I've ever read. Hands down. It's so fucking infuriating that these people turn out to be pieces of shit. The Ender's Game guy, he's like a racist into eugenics and shit, right? People breeding, I think, was his. Remind me. Yeah, anti-gay, bigoted. Ender's Game author. Very shitty. A lot of shitty authors out there that get real famous. I think he's just overall a bigot. And I heard something about, I think I got the racism because I heard something about he's into eugenics, which is people breeding. It's choosing the best genetically superior people to breed together. If you've never heard of eugenics, fucked and fucking gross. I know. Lovecraft had a cat named the N-word. Lots of authors we've discovered are pieces of shit, unfortunately. It's wild. Like, in the worst way wild. In the worst fucking way. I discovered that as an adult, and wow. And then there's, you know, JK fuck herself. Yes, it's what the Nazis were doing, trying to make a master race. Literally, that's us eugenics. It's if you've ever heard of phrenology, the fake science of studying the bones of the skull to determine whether or not you have intelligence, that all comes from eugenics and racism and trying to prove that black people are less than white people because of the bumps on their skull. It's all very connected. So, like, you can't be like, I love eugenics and not be a fucking racist. That's impossible. Oh, yeah. If you've heard of phrenology, that all stemmed from trying to prove black people were less than. All of that. So if you ever see some cute TikTok witch like, we're feeling the bumps, that's not palmistry. That's not it. I got a palm back here. We could go palmistry all day. Not the same. Phrenology, that's people breeding and racism. You need to stop. Stop that. The bumps of your skull have nothing to do with anything. They all have names, though. I had to memorize all of them at one point, which is crazy. They tried to breed super slaves with this. Science, hard quotes. Yeah, it's all very fucked. It's all very fucked. Mm-hmm. Eugenics, a lot of people that are in eugenics like to cover up their love of eugenics by calling it the quiverful movement. If you've ever heard someone shout or tout quiverful or talk about how the birth rates in the world are going down, therefore it is the white upper class's responsibility to breed and repopulate the earth with the most superior forms of human possible, Musk. He walks around it a lot. Listen to him talk. He's fucking quiverful. Those people that have like 20 children and let their oldest molest all the girls. The Duggars, quiverful. There's a lot of them. It is grotesque and weird. It's insanely ableist. It's gross. It's gross across the board, all of it. So if you hear any of those words, they're all connected. And people just like to come up with new buzz terms so that you don't know they're horrible racists, like quiverful. Quiverful stands for filling your quiver full of arrows to shoot into the world. Kids, it's breeding your own personal little sperm army. It's fucking weird. What? They have 18? That's I have no room to judge. I'm not judging. I come from a very large family of 8 children, and in my opinion, it's real hard for 2 people to give adequate love, care, and attention to 8 kids at a time, let alone 18. Those kids are being neglected. That's physically fucking impossible. Yes, quiverfuls are literally trying to breed as many of themselves as possible to outnumber left-wing people, yeah. I can't wait until these fuck twats children grow up and get to the age where they're old enough to cut their parents off, and their parents are gonna be like, we did all of this for you. I don't understand why you don't appreciate all the things I did for you. And their kids are gonna be like, all right, nutbag. Bye. Oh, so they're like the bun people then, Viata. Girls aren't allowed to wear pants or cut their hair. The oldest is married with babies of his own, and mom just popped out another over the summer. That's so scary. Why? Exactly, Kona. Irish families, Catholic. Well, my Nana told me this, and I don't know how much standing this has. I've never looked into it to see if it's legit. But I asked her one time because I was working on our little family tree, and like every generation above my my mom has 3 sisters, is like 12 kids. I swear to God. And they recycle names. Like I'm the 11th Catherine, as far as I can tell. That's as far as I can go back. The 11th Catherine. And they just keep having 12 kids, 12 kids. And I asked her, I was like, why the fuck did people just like this is exhausting and really dangerous on a body? And she said, according to the Catholic Church, if you had 13 children, a cardinal would come out to your home and bless the 13th. So every Catholic family, it was a way of getting Catholics to breed. Literally, that was it. It was like a punch card for babies. Like, yeah, we'll come touch one if you fill this punch card. No shit. It was just a way of getting Catholics to breed. But everybody would be like, hey, if we have 13, a cardinal comes to our house. We can fuck 13 times. I don't know how legit that is, though. That's what my Nana told me. Well, now they have the kids, so the kids take care of the other kids. I watched like a breakdown of that Duggar show, and the Duggar mom literally says, she's like, oh yeah, every time a baby is born, the moment that baby is born, it is assigned to one of the older children. That mom does not take care of her own children at all. She's very straight up about this. She's like, no, 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 we have teams, and all of the kids are assigned a baby every time a baby is born. So like 14-year-olds raising babies, I guess. It's I'm glad I'm not part of that. Yeah. So far they think we're the quirky weirdos down the road and not actually a threat, so they leave us alone. Yeah, that checks out. It doesn't seem like they do much thinking to begin with, right? I was doing my Irish family tree and it was so confusing because there were 7 billion named Patrick. Yes. So many Patricks, Johns, Catherines, a shit ton of Catherines, Elizabeths, or Lisbeth, I think. But then there's a winner every once in a while. Like I have, I want to say it's like a great great aunt whose name was Dorcas, Dorkus, Dorcas. Incredible, but very repetitive names, like constant repetition. It was crazy. It was like they just didn't know what to do. Oh, your dad had 5 sisters. Damn. It is no knives 100%. It's absolutely, I mean, psychologists universally agree that is abuse. Children shouldn't be charged with caring for children. You don't have a childhood. And I mean, you shouldn't be being raised by a child. Like, what? But guess who they voted for? Big fucking shocker there. no shit. Dorcas? Well, apparently that was a name at one point. Good morning, reasonable. I've dated people and had friends that were in situations like that, and I fucking hate it. No, it's weird. I've always thought it was kind of weird. I don't know, but again, I can't judge. To each their own, man. Do what you want, I guess. What? You work with a girl named Anonymous? Shut up. Shut up. That was her given name at birth. That's a form of abuse. Are you kidding? You're like, someone allowed them to name their child Anonymous on a birth certificate? It's one thing if some weird alt bitch goes and does that later in life, like, sure, do what you want to do. Lots of people have done weirder things. I literally worked with a nurse for years who had his name changed to Alexei Romanov. Like, from the Romanovs? He's not related, by the way. There's a lot of Alexei Romanovs in the world. Like, be a weirdo. Do what you want to do. I'm a weirdo. We all do that. But, like, what? Spirit cheers, be a bean. I feel you. Okay, fire honestly is more than, it makes more sense than anonymous. I take that over anonymous. Anonymous seems cruel. What are you doing? Well, they're cars, that's the thing. They're actually assigned that child. So once the child is home, that kid that is assigned that child sleeps with that child, bathes that child, feeds that child, changes that child's diapers, because all of the kids are homeschooled, etc., so none of them leave the house. So they essentially, every time their mom births a baby, one of the children gets a baby. The mom checks out. She's very open about that. It's so fucking weird. She runs a baby farm. It is fucking weird. Oh, no shit. Dramatic, you're actually gonna file it. Fought cancer 3 times. I'm willing to... Dude, is there like a class action or something? Because Roundup is dangerous shit. You can't yell your kid's name in public, which is horrifying. I don't know. My mom never yelled my name in public, but she didn't really give a fuck, so I don't know. Anonymous seems like a name that would actually not be allowed. That's what I'm saying. That shouldn't be legally allowed because of the implications and how confusing and terrible it's going to be for that kid. In like another 6 to 10 years, we'll start seeing a lot of people named Khaleesi. All the parents' name. Khaleesi makes more sense. Anonymous is a word. It's like naming your kid what? That's a word that's there. You know what I'm saying? Khaleesi. Name your kid, I don't give a fuck, Drogo. Like, whatever. You know how many poor and unfortunate souls are named Bella from Twilight? I worked those years in the hospital. Every other goddamn baby was named Bella. Those poor children. Like, that's a name though, right? Anonymous? That's not a name. They're really digging with that one. Good morning, Crispy. I actually had a friend named Sunshine and a friend whose middle name was Sunshine in high school, which is real weird. Like, at the same time. That's a name. It's weird, but it's a name. I've heard people, I've known it named, I knew someone named Star Blaze growing up. First name Star, middle name Star Blaze, man. I knew a lot of, like, there are names out there. Anonymous isn't one of them. Cupboard. What are we doing? Spackle. What are we doing with these? What's happening? Why are we punishing our children? Children are cute and bubbly, but then they have to grow up into adults and function in the world. And that's not how you prepare them for that. What? I met a bunch of Renesmee. Renesmee was another one. I didn't see that one as often. I saw so many Bellas, though. Like, it was so hard not to say something. That's how many. I would see more than 5 Bellas a week. Like, do moms not talk to each other? Or did they? And this is all a plan. I don't know what's going on, but there were, like, a lot of the times I wanted to be like, so I've already seen 7 Bellas this week. Is that what you want to go with? But I didn't. Each their own. You suffer your own shit. There were literally so many Katies and Jessicas in my school. None of us went by our first name. I've never gone by Katie. There's always other Katies in the room that take it, and I'm like, whatever, I'll take whatever. Give me what you want. Give me the leftovers. It's fine. There's too many of us. It's too common. How much weed do you have to smoke to name your... So, Rod, remember I did grow up on a Indian reservation. So, some of the names were very loose translations from a language probably that was dead and under... Yeah. So, like, when you hear, like, Sunshine, I knew 2 people in my grade who had Sunshine as the first name or a middle name. I did grow up on an Indian reservation, so there's a lot of loose translations where it's like running bear wolf piss or something like that, you know? I went to school with someone named Aquila. Still don't know what that meant. Cool name, though. Rusty Blaze. See? Blaze is common. Why are we giving kids names that would work perfectly fine for a cat or a dog? I mean, you know how many people I've met whose dog is fucking named Katie? So, I don't know about that one. Because for some reason, my name really checks out as a dog name for people. What if you wake up after a bender and people have to get... Wait. People have to say good morning, sunshine? I'd be so pissed. Oh, 100%. Well, I mean, David, it wouldn't probably shock you to know that the person whose first name was Sunshine was the first person to introduce me to a bong in the 8th grade. And the base of the bong was Cartman. And it had a barrel coming out of it bigger than my face. And she had tattoos and piercings before we even made it to high school. I think very infrequently do you name a child something like Sunshine and actually get a ray of out of said child. We tend to buck against the norm, you know? Yeah. But thankfully the boring-ass names are not from young adult vampire series. Thank fuck. I'm so happy that none of... I mean, I could have been Arwen or some... I don't even know. Oh, God. Oh, no shit. I just learned that my brother never liked his name and goes by his first 2 initials outside of the family. Really? Pets with human names is amazing. I'm not kidding. My neighbor growing up. So, like, we lived in the middle of nowhere. So a neighbor was at least a mile up the road. So one of my neighbors, literally a mile up the road, you could hear them at night every evening screaming, "Katie girl! Katie girl!" And it would echo down the valley and the beach that we both shared, but it was like a mile up the beach every night. It was a Catahoula leopard dog named Katie. Haunts me to this day. I'm just like, is that... I am not a dog. A cat at best, for fuck's sake. Hi. Trick is a great dog name. My Trick baby. Yeah. Don't lick my mouth, please. That's a good dog name. You named your dog after a porn star. There's porn stars named Katie, but my mom didn't name me after them. Correlation does not equal causation, motherfucker. Hell yeah, David. I go by Pete because my name is so commonly referred to as a douchey Chad name. Why do names get those connotations? Because I feel like my name kind of got that. I'm in the group of E's, and apparently we all ended up strippers, or some variation of Whitney, Katie, Brittany, Tiffany, Lacey, Kaylee, Bailey. I don't know what happened. But the E made us sluts or something. I like, literally, when people, like, list off stripper names, that's them. It's no longer, like, Chastity. It's Katie and Brittany and Tiffany. Okay. A Bichon Frise named Bella. Cute, though. I mean, Bella's a name. It also just, doesn't Bella mean, like, pretty or beautiful or something? I've never seen a stripper named Katie, I'm going to be honest. I have yet to see that. Paperwork is signed in the envelope. Dude, you're getting it done. I hope something happens. I refuse to use Roundup. I've never used it in my life. I don't care how bad a weed is. I worked at Lowe's. I had to read those fucking backs of those bottles all the time. That's just death in a bottle. I have a real hard time thinking any earth recovers after Roundup. That shit is demonic. I knew a girl whose name was Madge Britt. Oh, that's fun. Isabella is at least a name. I know some people named Karen. I know when that whole thing went down, that was, yeah. I often think of that scene from the movie Ted where Mark Wahlberg is listing off the, yes. That scene is extremely relevant. But I've heard that joke more than once and from more than one person. Are you just going to go to sleep on my lap? That's okay, Bubba. You sweet, sweet boy. Are you sleepy? Oh, okay. What are you doing? What are you doing, bud? What? Oh, you're fighting your sister. He taunted the beast underneath. That's why. Oh, yep. I won't either, cuteness. I use all the natural shit. I'll just put up with it. That stuff scares me. Vinegar works really, really well. That's what I use for pests and stuff too, and it works really, really well. I know people named Karen, also people who are Karens. There's one Karen that I know. I was gonna say I don't know a Karen. I've never met a Karen, which is interesting. He does love to lick a hand. At least it's not my mouth. Oh yeah, I've seen the tragedy. I mean, I've gone on it and I feel like it's a lot of repeats, like the legendary. I know someone named Ladasha. Do you? You know how many times I've heard someone come at me with Ladasha for like 18 years? Like, since the moment I went into medical school. You know someone named their baby LA-A? Do you know it? I don't know if that's real. But I have yet to ever, like, see a modicum of proof of Ladasha existing in the world. But that's a lot of the tragedy subreddit. Is like a lot of those where I'm like, I used to be there when people, like, I was one of the witnesses when people named their babies because I was in a lot of C-sections and shit like that. I've never seen a name like that. You don't, like, it's weird that Elon and what's-her-fuck got away with the, because, like, there's rules around names and stuff and putting strange grammar in names and cultural stuff. So, I don't know. It's kind of like that. Oh, yeah, my friend's cousin's grandma's dog's owner's ex-mom, 3 times removed, got cockroaches laid in her cheek from a Taco Bell burrito, and they hatched. Did they? Did they? Did they? Or is that just a rewritten version of the story from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark where the lady had spiders laid in her cheek and they burst open? I don't know. People, you guys know, I love to tell you guys crazy stories. Never seen any of that shit. Ever. I loved Mythbusters. That shit was awesome. I think they gotta be, I've just never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that. I've seen some weird fucking names. I've seen some weird shit. I've never seen anything like that, though. Like, your body is far too magical to harbor spider eggs under the skin. Like, none of that can happen. You'll get an infection or something, but, like, I just don't understand why, like, how people buy into those stories. Like, use your brains. What? What? I smell BS too. That's usually, I'm like, okay. Did you meet Ladasha? Yeah, Nana, no shit. The first time I was exposed to that was the scary score. Is it behind me? It's the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. With the crazy drawings and shit. We went through it the other day. It's behind me somewhere. But yeah, there's a story in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark about spiders being laid in a cheek and whatever. And I read that when I was like 6. And so ever since then, when people are like, yeah, Taco Bell burrito laid cockroach eggs in it. My dudes, I'm not here just to fuck with you. I literally raise cockroaches. I could pull one out right now and show you the anatomy of a cockroach, and I could show you what their eggs look like and how all of that goes down. None of it's happening in your mouth or your cheek or a burrito from Taco Bell. Stop that. Stop that. That's not happening. For one thing, most cockroaches lay live babies. So, on your eggs. For another thing, no. The neon green you see in the upper right there, that's a hissing cockroach colony. Right there, that's a dubia cockroach colony. I have a lot of things that have to eat bugs, so I raise them for a living. Like, I raise them and breed them. Oh, Nana, I would never. I wouldn't fuck with you like that. It just bothers me when people try to throw around misinformation and shit like that and assume we're dumb enough to buy into it. I'm like, none of that makes sense. I will leave them in their cages. They're real cute, though. They're my favorite. Literally, of every animal I own, my cockroaches are my favorite thing to handle. The hissing cockroaches specifically. Because they're slow, and they don't have mouth parts, and they just sit there. And it's the best. Everything else is like, wah! I'm gonna jump to my death. Cockroaches are just like, whatever. They're also the cleanest thing I own. They spend over like 80% of the existence of their life cleaning themselves and their surroundings. They're super hyper clean. It's great. There's a subset of the population that's dumb and those people can vote. Yeah. They don't have like chompers. They don't have chelicerae or like fangs. They have, what are their mouth parts? They definitely have mouth parts. They're just not anything that can hurt us. What are they called? I guess they are a form of chelicerae, but it's more, their mouth functions more like a snail. So you know how snails and slugs, they have one tooth called a radula. And that tooth kind of does a scraping motion and either cleans algae off a surface or it munches away at a leaf. That's kind of more of what they have. And they just eat leaves, dead leaves and dead things. Like I give them, banana peels and shit like that, and they eat that. But they kind of do this like a radula movement when they eat, but they don't have like gross mouth parts that can bite me or anything like that, which is the best. Oh, Shea Gloom! I wish you all the luck, my love. My buddy did repairs on PS2s back in the day. He found infestations in them? No. No, 100%, David. A lot of bugs in their like adult form do not have mouth parts. That's absolutely true. No, it's 100% true. It was lazy of me to say that. I should have corrected myself faster. Thank you. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, no shit. Get this. The reason Dead Mouse is called Dead Mouse is because his PC crashed in the middle of a World of Warcraft raid. And when he tore the side off to see why like sparks and smoke flew out of his PC in the middle of a World of Warcraft raid, there was a dead mouse in his PC case. That's why he's called Dead Mouse, not a joke. I know. No shit. When one of my snakes got out one night, I remember this. This was years ago when I first moved here, and I freaked out all morning. It was in my PC. My snake had literally curled up on my graphics card and was just staying warm. Animals. No, that was a good question, David. I mean, if I'm going to be educational, I should be educational, right? You're absolutely true. There's so many animals that don't have mouth parts. You're very right. Yes, I love that video so much. I love the Velt. It's one of my favorite songs. It's so good. Hold on. Crispy threw me a link and it just disappeared. It didn't. It opened and then closed, and I don't know why. What was it? Mice and rats are known for getting into large equipment and eating through the wires, electrocuting themselves. Oh, that's tragic and gross. Happy videos are the best. We don't, I know, yeah, no one needs to think about infestations. The gross. Gross. Yeah, I don't have that. Mine are contained, and they're food for my animals that matter. I kind of wish my name had lore like that. Honestly, a little bit same. The lore of ClassyKatie, I belched at the dinner table, and my dad looked at me and went, ClassyKatie. And that was it. Are you thinking of getting roaches as pets? Hissers are really cool. It's funny that David asked if they could, like, what if they need to scream? Because they are hissing cockroaches. They're dumb easy to take care of, insanely clean. And I'm not just saying that. They are literally the cleanest animal because cockroaches live under things in dark places, etc. They have to keep their environment super clean to live. Because they're an animal just like everything else. They can't just, like, live in filth. So they are super fucking clean, and I literally just feed them table scraps. But they're really fun. I don't know. I like my hissers. They're cute, and they're just, like, no shit. One of the weirdest things, because they don't hiss with their mouth. Most insects, arthropods, arachnids, etc., don't have a respiratory system like you and I. They breathe via either vesicles in their abdominal cavity or gills that are called book lungs. Super nerdy, so sorry, but basically they breathe out of their torsos and their thorax. And so what hissing cockroaches do, I can see them do it at nighttime, is they'll climb, the males, they climb to the tallest bark piece they possibly can, and they all own their own piece of bark. It's really interesting. Every male has its piece of bark, and all of his bitches live under it. So I have like 4 males, and they all each have a harem in different corners of the tank. And all the bitches live underneath, and the male sits on top, and he sticks his ass in the air and goes, tss, 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 tss. And that's just him proclaiming, my bark, my bitches. My bark, my bitches. And that's all they do. They don't have wings. They can't fly. And Trick's just here getting it in the face. What? It's too early, I think. It's been very needy the past couple days. I don't know why. I love my dog so much. Bark bitches gang. Seriously, that's them. They're very, like, I like that they're not winged and they're just chill and they do nothing. But that's the most they'll ever do, is they waggle their little hissy ass on a piece of bark to be like, my bitches, my bark, my bitches, my bark. And that's it. They're fun. I don't know. I take one out and show you, but clearly there's a lot of people in chat who have a fear and or disgust of them, and I'm not here to gross people out with a cockroach. It is. It's like butt maracas. And it's like the movement of the thorax causes air to, like, move in and out of the vesicles. And that's what causes the tss, tss, tss. It's kind of, you can hear it out your own mouth. If you open your mouth and do that movement, you can almost hear your lungs kind of shifting air. It's the same thing, but it's creating like a hissing sound. That's how they hiss. And it's just to, like, be like, my bark, don't come over here if you're a boy. And if a boy comes over, they do that at each other. It's so hilarious. Like, if a male accidentally climbs the wrong bark piece, that if this is their butts, they're like, tss, 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 tss. There's no, they have no weight. Like, they're the most benign creatures. They're just hilarious to watch. Man, I'm not just saying this, Uki, they're one of my favorite pets. Seriously, they're just fascinating to watch because they just kind of exist. They're really low maintenance. You don't have to kill anything or give them anything live to eat, which is really nice. Everything else, like I have frogs, snakes, spiders, etc. Everything eats live things, which sucks. They're just so easy to take care of. And they're literally, I can just take one out and sit here with it and he'll just chill on my hand. They've got nothing to do. They have no agenda. They just chill. They're very calm. It's kind of fun. I don't know. But it's I get it. Just in case anyone thinks this is super gross, beloved Kate McKinnon had cockroach colonies in her room as a child. I learned that recently, so I'm not the only weird Kate out there full of cockroaches. I think hissers can live up to about 5 years. I have like a colony, so literally like males probably pass away and then a new male comes up that's dominant and sits on his bark piece, and I probably don't even realize because I can't really tell the difference. Let me see. Up to 5 years in captivity. Ayo, Katie. I googled. Yeah, up to 5 years in captivity. They get like, I want to see my biggest male is like that big. Probably about the size of my thumb. That's like my biggest male, probably. Ooey gooey morning, good morning. Don't say that in front of the dogs. What did I say? Did I say bad words? Oh my god, when I say my favorite pet, it never includes my dogs. Ever. This is, I don't even, is that weird? I don't even consider my dogs pets. You're my buddy. You're like my bestie. Yeah, they're like, I don't even consider them when I think, when I say that. If that came off like, I don't love my dog more than anything in the world. No, this is my baby. This is my boy. Yeah. You're my favorite in the whole world of everything. Ever. Yeah. Dogs are family, right? I feel that. Yeah. I don't even, when I say of all my pets, I'm saying like the snakes and the lizards and the spiders, the things that cognizantly do not give a fuck about me. I can choose favorites there, but my dogs are my life. You're my favorite thing in the whole world. You're my favorite everything, Bubba. You know that. You and your sister. Yes, they're your babies, exactly. I love betta fish. They're super cute. These are, and that's another thing, I don't do aquatic. I refuse to have aquatic animals anymore because they're just so fucking high maintenance, water changes and whatnot. Cockroaches, you don't even have to mist them. They get all of the moisture they need from the food you give them. So, like, seriously, like, when we're cooking dinner, if we have carrot peels or any peelings, I just throw it in there. That's their water, that's their food, they're done. Have fun, Viata. I mean, you know what I mean. Ugh. Rewatched the original Mimic movie. Oh, we watched that oh my god, no shit, David. We watched that in movie night a couple weeks ago. It was in October, I think. I think we counted it. I watched it for the first time. It was crazy. I didn't even know. We have like this huge wheel of movies that we spin every night, and we just watch whatever it puts on. And during Halloween, we had a special wheel of scary. I'd never seen Mimic before. It was my first watch of it, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, this is this is Guillermo del Toro's first film." Wait, no, one of his first. Was Kronos his first? It is Del Toro. We watched Kronos as well. Kronos, I believe, is Del Toro's first, which I had no idea. That was a really good one as well. Del Toro's just great. I was shocked. Mimic was great though, super creepy. If you this is a weird thing to say. If you ever wanna watch a happy movie about cockroaches, Joe's Apartment. I don't know. I feel like it just flew under the radar, and there's so many people that have never seen it. But I rented it multiple times as a kid, just because it was so fucking funny. Joe's Apartment's hilarious. I don't know how to describe it. Cockroaches. Funky Towel! Thank you! My voice is so fucked today. Thank you. Yes. It's just fun. Like the scene with the gigantic urinal cake being rolled into the park and then the park just blooming lives rent free in my head. Like to this day, there's part of me that's like, yeah, but are urinal cakes the answer? I saw that movie at a very formative age. It was great though. What's the guy in it? I can't remember his name. The main is he a Baldwin? That's not a Baldwin. What is his name? You check Discord. Oh my god. How could you? What do you call that? Rod made a. Hold on. Is it even going to show the right screen? Let's see. I doubt it. Oh my god, it did. It's me doing the cockroach dance. I don't have two hands to blow it up for you because my dog is here, but it's the. That's literally what they do. Do you see what Uncle Rod is doing? Bullying me. Yes, okay. I hope you didn't think you're a pet. You are not. You're my son. My beautiful furry little son with the beautiful curls. What are other butt emotes usually called? Honestly, I have no... I mean, in a small emote form, does that translate as a butt? It almost kind of loops. Is that just me being a robot? Yeah, he's a human that's just a little hairy. Are you wanting to climb all the way up? Come on. Come here. What? What can I do for you, Bubba? You just want to hang out? Or are you pouncing at your sister under the desk again? Yeah, that's what you're doing. He's hunting his sister. It's a dump. You know, I did a dumpy on Halloween, but I don't know how to gift things. In my skeleton thing, I tried to do like a dumper or whatever where your butt goes in a circle at the camera, but I don't know how to gift stuff. I'm not that talented. Do you need to go outside? I kind of have to pee. I can't. Oh, was that the answer? You have to go pee. Do you have to go potty? Okay. I actually have a turkey dumper and I have this one and then but these are all on like BTTV Franker Face. So if you can't see them, that's why. What are we listening to? It's like the end of the fucking album. It's the end of the what is it? Random Access Memories album. It's literally just like weird jamming music and then them talking over it. Hold on. I'll change it. I didn't even realize what was happening. My voice today, why? I really hope I'm not getting sick. I don't know how. I haven't gone anywhere. That's what is that dumper? That's cute. That's a fast. See, I used to have that, like that speed of the dumper where it's like, but it was, I think it was Ditto or something. I don't know. If you want a more ass-forward version of me doing the dumper, you have to look at my stream from Halloween and clip the first, look at the first 5 minutes of stream. That, I did my best. I know, maybe I should make some tea. Because I've literally been off the hook drinking water and shit. I have to pee so bad. I'm going to make some tea with honey because my voice it's far too early for this roughness right now. This is a little too much. Okay, we're not stuck in repetitive land anymore. Pee, stretch your legs, do those things. I'll be right back. I'm gonna do the same. Wash your fucking hands. Dive into Harold Halibut, actually. I feel like I'm close to beating it. And no shit, Rod, we played yesterday. We didn't get to see our favorite character not fucking once. Not once. The fish. Fishy. Will you? Not Once. My goal today is get back with Fishy. I'm so sad about it. I know. I was pissed. We went to like a fucking funeral and shit and never got any happy. Tea. I got the good shit, honey. It's not shit, honey. It's good shit, honey. I have to tell you guys what I did in the kitchen though. It was one of those super ADHD moments. I had the kettle. I poured hot water into the tea, and then I got my oat milk. And my oat milk is one of those ones with a little like screw top. Screw top it off. Pour the oat milk in, and then I picked up the kettle with the lid for the oat milk in my hand and started walking towards the fridge and like genuinely tried to screw the lid onto my electric kettle before putting it back in the fridge. And it took me far too many milliseconds before my brain was like, Jesus Christ. Just brains. Hot. Yeah. One of those moments. Honey. I know. I didn't put it in the fridge. I didn't get that far. But I got pretty far. Whoops. Oh, Nana. Been there, dude. The amount of times I've found my phone in the fridge. Okay, wait. Does it translate small? Hold on. I did. I have Discord. I'm opening. I'm trying to get the fucking emote up. Because Steely gave... Oh, is this me doing the dumper thing? I tried. I tried to do the dumper. I did. I tried to do like the... I can't see what I'm doing. Hold on. I'm going to try... Which one? There's two. Oh my god, they're perfectly looped. Holy shit. Okay, wait. Ah, they're so small. I mean, I guess that's the way they're going to look in chat, so that's good. Hold on. Before we jump into the game. You guys have to tell me which one. I have a million spots. I could literally put both of these in if we need them. But they're perfectly looped. Oh my god. That's really well done. And then there's this one. That's the different one, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty well looped. Dude. I can't tell. I don't know. Yes, just both. Hold on. What do I call cockroach? What do I call them? Shimmy 1, shimmy 2? Is that a shimmy? Najiel, I was about to start playing the game, actually. I just had to make tea for my throat hole. Because she's rough today. Yeah, see, we have a shimmy. I'm super basic with tea. This is literally just black tea. I think this is Twining's English breakfast tea. If I had my druthers... I don't... I've had some fruity teas I like. There's actually a really good fruit or tea company in Colorado. It's like Denver based. I can never remember the name. It's like Seasons or something like that. But they make a ton of different herbal teas that are really good tasting. I really like some good herbal teas. But I'm kind of picky. I don't want them to taste like fucking perfume. Okay. No, I was just putting in a couple emotes, and then we're gonna play. I keep saying we're gonna beat this game, and we have not beat this game. It does kind of look like running. Yeah, that works. I have, let's see, how many emote spots do I have open for animated emotes? 25. Let's see, are they perfect squares? Fucking A, they are. I hate the emote. Uploader is so goddamn picky. Is the other one gonna work? Oh shit, they both work. Okay. I got a bit of wiggle room, no shit. I have 23 open animated emote slots, 2 bonus animated emote slots. All the emote slots for tier 2 and tier 3 are open because they fucking added those later and I just haven't added any. And then, like, I have so many, it's ridiculous. Wild. There's so much. Someday I'll do it. All right, should we do this? Those should be in pretty soon because I'm in good standing. The emotes, I mean. I appreciate you because seriously, I have tried, and it's partially it's not easy to make, especially like fun cartoony emotes like my little anime looking faces or like Rod's Red Rocket, those kind of emotes. Those are not easy to make at all. Like emote artists deserve every single penny they charge, 100%. Like they're incredible, and I'm too much of a perfectionist. I've tried, and I just hate when I make. Still in good standing. Sounds boring. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. Of all people. Lest we remind ourselves. My honey's not stirred. So you remember the... Oh, Knives, you weren't here. So the other day, Smashly came in to just say hi randomly for no particular reason whatsoever, and she definitely didn't send me a DM in the middle of my stream that made me pee a little with excitement. And, like, I'm not saying anything's happening or gonna happen or anything super fucking exciting is coming up. Like, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we might want to keep the control, donate emotes. Just for a little. Just for, just a thought. Exactly. Capital T. I love tea too. No, I do too. I like tea. I like warm hot beverages. Warm hot beverages? Katie, shut up. All right, let's play this game. Anyways, for those that, I don't know, we've played so much of this game, I don't even know what to say about it anymore. We're playing a really pretty game called Harold Halibut. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, it's just beautiful. We're a handyman on a ship on a different planet. We escaped Earth. Harold Halibut's adorable. I don't know. That's it. That's all it's in the Xbox. Katie, it's Xbox. I know, David, I don't know if you got to catch yesterday. No shit. So on Sunday, where we ended with the game was the mailman passed away. So yesterday we went to the funeral and everything. And right after we heard that the mailman passed away, Fishy was like, I'm going to go do things on my own and I don't want you to follow me. And Harold was like, oh, I'm not used to being alone. And we have not found Fishy since. I went to every fucking level, every single room in the entire game. Could not find Fishy. I think Fishy's mad at us. Xbox app is being a douche. Come on, Xbox app. Oh my god, it's in. Which one is that one? Is that Dumper? Okay, is our the other one I called Run because it does look like running. Those are pretty good. Thank you for doing that, dude. Those are great. I know, Wii U. We didn't even get to see Wii U once yesterday. I was so sad about it. I feel like I let you guys down. So we have to find Wii U this time. Game, calm down. Harold was constantly like, oh, what's wrong with X? Literally. Yes. I hate that the Triad Wives took that from Hippie Women. I hate it. They took it and made it gross. They took it and they're like all of these wonderful hippie women that I grew up idolizing and still idolize to this day with the swishy skirts and the long gray hair braided. They look like witches in the forest, you know, and they would like have chickens and grow all their own food and all this. And they did something called homesteading where you live off of the land you own. And these trad wives took it and they're like, I can do it in a mini dress from Le Vuitton while my husband watches and masturbates from the corner of the kitchen. My son's sleeping next to him. Isn't it wonderful to see male bonding? Fucking kill me. Fucking kill me. That shit makes me sick. There's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom or a traditional housewife, etc., however you want to put it. But that shit, that's making it like it's not okay to look like a supermodel while doing this, and that makes me feel gross for people. On that note, that was oh my god, have you never seen Mayo? I'm so happy for you. I'm going to be honest. If you've never seen these, it's trad wife stands for traditional wife. If you've never seen these trad wives, they seriously are like, I've got 9 children. I'm a size 0 and I'm wearing my Gucci. My children woke up this morning and wanted cereal, so I decided to make some from scratch. I went outside and picked some wheat and immediately hung it to dry. 19 days later, I took it down and ground the wheat to make flour so I could turn it into a nice rough whole wheat dough that will eventually be the cereal for my children. In the meantime, they fucking starved to death, so that's what my husband ate. I made up that last part, but that's so it's goes on and on like that. But they look like Marilyn Monroe in the kitchen doing these things, and they're just filming themselves for TikTok. It's fucking weird. Fuck, my Instagram has been littered with that and engagement rings ever since the election. It's nauseating. Oh, it's so on point. It's so fucking weird, dude. It seems like kink videos to me too, but people took it way seriously, and now people are like, I feel like a bad wife because I can't live that way. And it's like, nobody can. What are you talking about? This is what? Psychotic. Please don't use your real voice, Katie. Sorry. I gotta rough her up. I haven't smoked my daily 7 packs of cigarettes to make sure that goes away. It's, yeah, the trad wife stuff often leads to like, or stems from, it can go either way, like the super Christian pathway garbage, right? You kind of sound like Aubrey Plaza, and I'm trying to fix my shower. What does that mean? It's a fantasy, not a way of living. Exactly. But people don't see it as the fantasy, so they aim for it. And when they fail, they feel shitty. It's like, man, we're all just trying to do our best out here and survive. Nobody's making cereal from scratch. Stop that. Can you do the trad voice talking about making a cake? I mean, it would start out exactly the same. Because it starts with, you know, I went into my yard and picked the wheat and dried it and ground it and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I've seen a couple of these videos. They always start that way somehow. Like, my husband texted me from work that he was feeling like having some ice cream, so I decided to make some ice cream from scratch. I went into the yard and nursed my cow with my mouth because my hands weren't pure, spitting it back into the bucket. I brought the fresh unpasteurized milk from our house cow into the house, where I fucking boiled it and it made ice. I don't know how do you make ice cream, added salt and and by the time my husband got home, I had fresh ice cream waiting for him at the door. And they always talk really monotone and weird like that, and usually they praise the Lord in the middle of it all, like, I had time between baking muffins and an entire cake to praise God. So I did. I thanked him for the air and the water and the ivermectin I anally inserted this morning. And then I pulled the cookies out of the oven. The children smelled them, but I said no because one's getting fat. It goes on forever. I could go on. It's gross. It's gross. It's gross. I don't like it. Then these women are brainwashed into believing they want that. Yeah. And then when Christianity gets involved, then they're like, well, if I don't want it, I'm not a good Christian. Therefore, I better want it. Otherwise, I'm not a good Christian. If I'm not a good Christian, I don't go to heaven, or my community doesn't like me, or something. I wonder if trad wives see anal as a loophole. I mean, traditional wives, I think, see, like, well, from what I've been led to believe, they do what their husbands want when their husbands want. You exist to make your husband's life easier. Your husband... Like, that's like the stem of it. And then in order for your husband to have stipulations as to what is a good wife, then they start going to the Bible and they're like, well, a good wife menstruates outside in the menstruating tent and stays there for 7 days after, scrubbing stones on her face to make sure all the blood's out before a man porks her in the butt. And on the 7th day, Jesus made the Remington bow rifle to shoot the dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. On that note, I need to go take my dogs outside and lay down because I think I'm getting a fucking nose infection. I'm sad about it. This game was amazing. Tomorrow's Fated Friday, just a remind-toi, bring music and funnies and all of the things. It's straight up male fantasy. It's gross. Why would you want that? Ew. Ew, nobody wants that. Wow, my camera just went weird. If you're unfamiliar with Fated Friday, this is basically a radio station with like giggles and pops from me every once in a while. And we just smoke a lot of weed, listen to good music, laugh at funny videos, the huge. We have movie night every night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. You figure out the rest. It's Mike's birthday, so Mike gets pixies if tonight is the night, but I don't know. It depends. Birthday peeps get pixies as to what we watch on their birthday, obviously. Look at that silver hair. Do you see that? Do you see this? Traitor to the crown. I'm dying. It's happening. What the fuck? Who are you? Who is she? Do you have a right to exist? Nobody gave you that. No male in chat was like, you can talk and gray at the same time. I think this means I have to die. If you're going silver, does that mean death is imminent? It's imminent. It's happening. I was programmed by God to be a neurodivergent pansexual furry. I think myself and Platypi were created on the same day. To be honest, because we're both just an imminent fucking joke. And my toenails are like mysteriously venomous, which I just, to this day, haven't quite been able to explain or experience fully. All I know is if I don't keep them trimmed, my partners wake up cold. Or don't wake up, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm going to raid my girl Vissy, one of my favorite people, like literally top 3 in the entire world. You be nice. You be wonderful to her. Fated Friday, come by. Come by to movie night if you want to. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. But wash your hands and pee after sex. Those are required things. Just for general body care and health and hygiene. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, nobody cares what you smell like as long as it's clean. I love you. Bye.